This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 10. But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Allah, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Waha, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the heathen, looking like the heathen. I'm going to say shalom. Shalom to all the sincere Akim out there. This is Brother Yawasab out of the GMS Cleveland Church, fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I got another lesson out of the book Mass Control, Engineering Human Consciousness by Jim Keith on chapter 18. And I guess these next few chapters is just like case studies of specific people that actually like were targeted for MK Ultra and were able to speak out about it. First chapter was about a woman named Claudia Mullen. This one is a guy named Bryce Taylor. It's chapter 18, and I'm gonna jump straight into it. It says other believed survivors of government mind control programs have come forward to tell their stories. One such person is the pseudoism Bryce Taylor. Born in 1951, Taylor speaks without hesitation about being the victim of CIA mind control programming. Although in an interview with the author, Salakia, that's a female. I thought that was a guy. It says, although in an interview with the author, she confides that she fears that one day all of the information that she has stored in her mind will suddenly come pouring forth and overwhelm her. Taylor recalls that after a 1985 auto accident in which her head was smashed through a windshield, she began recovering memory, experiencing flashbacks of her programming and mind control missions. Beginning in 1988, Taylor sought deprogramming from a therapist. Her therapy continued every day for 6 years, and she spent, according to her estimate, a total of $300,000 on recovery. Slovakia. In an attempt to escape mind control, Taylor left her husband and children, whom she believes are still victims of programming. At present, the mind programming of her 20-year-old daughter is breaking down. Taylor relates to me so that the woman is currently in a near catatonic state, drooling and in diapers. Slovakia. According to Taylor, from infancy, her personality was progressively shattered by her father. She believes that he was also a victim of programming and he used CIA dissociative techniques on her in order to transform her into a mind control slave. Taylor believes that from childhood she was sold as a prostitute and used in pornography. She states that at the Baptist Sunday school she attended as a child, the minister and secretary of the church practiced witchcraft. In a short memoir of her experiences, Taylor reported, I started ministrating. This heralded abuse and rituals involving getting raped and impregnated, sometimes twice a year. When the fetuses were 2 to 3 months old, they were aborted at rituals and ingested to fulfill the beliefs of the group that had made those participating more powerful. These were devastating, deeply traumatizing, and painful experiences that were repressed along with other traumas. This is the book of Nahum, chapter 3, verse 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. At the end of the day, that's not surprising that this woman is sitting up there saying that, you know, it was a so-called Baptist church where the pastor was into witchcraft. This is where they was actually like doing these rituals. And there's truth to that, you know. as far as like they was talking about with Crowley, when Crowley, you know, the younger the victim, the more power he believed they got from that. Continue. It says Bryce Taylor believes that throughout childhood she was abused and programmed at military bases, including Edwards AFB, 29 Palms, and Point Magoo Naval Base. Among the techniques she says were employed on her were sensory deprivation chambers, spin chambers, and light and sound entertainment technologies. She says that she was programmed at a number of other locations, including um, Barking Sands Missile Base in Hawaii and the UCLA Neuropsychiatric Institute, where drugs, light and sound, and sophisticated computerized methods were used on her under the supervision of Louis Jolin West. Taylor reports that her owner was a popular Hollywood entertainer whom she names. She was much more than an entertainer. Entertainment was actually just a clever hobby of his. I witnessed his participation as a strategically placed, influential, and integrated part of an underworld group that secretly sought to control the world. He maintained direct ties to the White House. She recalls that for her 16th birthday, her husband-to-be surprised her with a visit by train to the San Diego Zoo. According to Taylor, once on the train, she was delivered to a private car where the entertainer, a well-known politician, and two other men awaited her. I had sex with each of them as the others watched. Starlit was the name that the entertainers gave her. Starlight was one of my alter personalities. She was to become his Scarlet. The entertainer took me to several of Hugh Hefner's penthouse parties in Los Angeles. There were windows all around, and at night you could see all the twinkling lights of the city. And when you take time to think about that, you know, I've heard multiple different things about Hugh Hefner. When you think about it, he had to be affiliated. Like, I heard he was like a government asset. Take the time to think about it. He was legally, like, you got men that go to jail for what he was doing. Like, you don't think that you had big businessmen that would come to the Playboy Mansion and pay to have sex with some of these women. Now, he committing, you know, basically, it was prostitution. So why wasn't he harassed or fucked with by the government? And I also heard he was a homosexual, too. Which it wouldn't be surprising, you know what I mean? It says there were windows all around, and at night you could see all the twinkling lights of the city. According to Taylor, she was prostituted to members of the Rat Pack of Hollywood celebrities. As an adult, Taylor says that she had fully taken on the characteristics of a multiple personality, presidential model, mind slave, used as a courier, a sexual toy for government leaders and other world figures. She says that she was also used as a human tape recorder to store the text of secret documents by the use of her photographic memory. This was done so that these high-level players could communicate without records or physical connections within their cabal, a group whose total intention is to bring about a fascist new world order. Bear with me for a second. This is Book of Psalms, chapter 64, verse 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of workers of iniquity. Verse 3. Who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Verse 4. That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly they'll shoot at him and fear not. Verse 5. They encourage themselves in that evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? And that's, you know, your Illuminati, your illuminated ones. That's these people that's behind trying to, you know, create this one world government. Which, you know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing, you know. It's a scripture that says about basically like the Most High, you know, because at the end of the day, the Most High is in control of all things. You know, he's going to allow them to a certain extent to, you know, start this. But it's like, I forgot how the scripture goes. It basically says how, like, when their enterprise is almost, let me try and find it. Because, I mean, to a certain extent, it is going to get created. You're going to have people get chipped. You get upset. But you also going to have a group of people that's not going to take the chip. Bear with me for a second. This It's in the book of Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 20. I'm gonna start at verse 22. Because basically, although, like I said, the Most High is gonna allow them to, like I said, because everything's about prophecy. You know what I mean? How you gonna get, even put in that position if the Most High didn't allow them to, because everything basically bends to the will of the Most High. From on the left and the right. That's why the Most High is not all good, because that would be. It says in the book of Proverbs that Most High, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. He can't be all good and he can't be all wicked. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, this is Job 20 and 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Verse 23. When he's about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain upon him while he is eating. So that's basically going into Esau. Like, he's going to allow this so-called red Hebrew Edomite, well, this so-called white man, this red Hebrew Edomite, to basically enact and like, to a certain extent, this is they're going to basically chip a lot of people. They're going to be, you already got the 5G system in place. You know what I mean? You already got these satellite, the spirit led me one day to actually just check out Uber and Lyft and all that shit. When you check that out, you find out that that's how they know, and everybody know where everybody location at, because they're using the 5G. I was like, wow, you know what I mean? I came across an article that broke it all the way down. I'm like, damn, because for whatever reason, spirit just moved me to, like, check that out. You know what I mean? Like, because I've never used a Lyft except for once in life. You know what I mean? When I went out of town, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, how did y'all know? And you could tell how long before they get to you, and they know exactly where you at. So they using your phone to track you. So just imagine when you get chipped. I'm gonna stop there though.